getting fixed in South Carolina. South Carolina night, motorcycle madness, the heat had been beating on the blacktop all day, and in the dusk's dark, the sun still rose in waves from tar-driven asphalt bubbles. I slowed the bike down on Dope Street. The man waved me over, flashing teeth from night face. No dope in pockets, got a ride for it. Creaking motorcycle shocks as big man gets on. Feel his hands on my waist, and I try to remember the face behind me. Mustache comes to mind, that's all. Had he passed me dope in the darkness before this hot summer night? Addiction only remembers what it needs. Chasing dragons through misty mountains of the mind, I kick through the gears and the red lights. There is no stopping us now. My addiction is talking to me. It whispers sweet shit into my ear, and I know this monkey is a liar. Picking up speed, and the dope man's hands tighten up on my waist, and he hisses at me to slow the fuck down as I lean into the back road curve hard, scraping foot pegs on asphalt. Sparks, just like shooting stars, wink out into the night like young men on Dope City streets, dancing to deadly drive-by rhythms. Dark spots. Suddenly my engine freewheels. I can tell by the scream the road pressure is gone as pounding pistons freed from confining transmissions fry their cylinders and boil oil. I snap the throttle back to idle, pull the clutch lever, Dope man holding my waist tightly and yelling in my ear, and I'm paying attention to nothing and everything as I tap the shift lever down and still nothing. My addiction is howling in anguish as I shut the machine down and roll the machine to the shoulder. The night is hot and dark. I am sick and sweaty with the road dirt gritting on my face. The man wants to go. The man wants to stay. I want a flashlight. The clutch cable has broken loose. My disease has broken out in my mind like a chattering monkey beating on existential bars in a prison of its own making. The man wants to go. The man wants to stay. I promise a quick fix as I fumble the clutch cable between grease and sweat and shaking fingers. And I know that I am a liar. But my addiction wants him to stay. He is the stellar connection to blisters, pus, to disease and denial, riding high on a dead white horse, chasing dragons that whisper lies to me in the middle of the night. And I believe everything like a child, knowing his parents are lying again. But how can the world shake like that? The dope man is leaning down to see how I am doing. I am slipping the cable back into place with aching fingers and wondering what his face really looks like in the light. My addiction shakes my head. The man wants to go. The man wants to stay, and his addiction makes him wait and wait and wait. My fingers are cable torn. They slip again and again. I need to call my wife. I need to hurry up. I need to get some dope. I need to hook this up. Why does this always happen to me? I need to call my wife. I need to get some dope. This is not real and in my imagination only. I bend to my task. The man is yelling. My addiction is talking, and I am suddenly in the air. I am hearing the impact. What is that metal tearing sound? I don't know why I am flying. I feel the body rack, pain, dull like a thud, and I am a bird that bounces and the world spins past. There are sounds that defy my ears, and suddenly all is still. In the heat's silence, dead engines and deactivated metal ticks time backwards, and I smell the grass and the earth bleeding like me that has been freshly torn and wounded. This is how death comes, like lights in the night, bearing tidings of metal, pumped by oil and misruled by blood beings. I am afraid to move. I am afraid to think. I am afraid to die. Can I catch my breath? Where has it gone? Suddenly, I can breathe, raw and hurting, but there is no hiss of air. And I laugh suddenly, for I remember about punctured lungs. And I know that the only thing going right is my lungs are not hissing through rib-torn holes. And then I hear voices, and I am not alone. It is a man's voice, and he is saying, "Tell them you were driving. Tell them you were driving." And there is a woman's voice, and she is saying, "Not this time, not this time. This man is dead, and that man is dying. There is too much involved here." And I know that I am what is too much involved here. And I know that the dope man is this man who is dead. And I know that I am that man who is dying. And there is too much involved here. And I want to get to them and shake them and tell them, shake them and kill them for caring so much. They don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to die, not right now, but they are in trouble, and things are a little worse than that for me and the dope man. And where has my addiction gone while all this is happening? It took the fuck off and told me, "You're in this one all by yourself." And I try to get up and tell that man and tell that woman all about too much involved here and what all that shit really means to me and the man who is dead. I have legs that shoot pain and fire and will not work, and I know that other things are not working well either. A car stops and someone comes running up to me. He tells me the ambulance is on the way and that everything will be all right. And I know that what he is saying is not exactly true. My addiction always fed me bullshit too, but she had a more convincing argument, and I never like to be confused by facts anyhow. A woman leaned over me and asked if she could do anything for me while we waited. I stopped and thought for a minute while I listened to the driver of the pickup that had turned me to roadkill lie to the police and say that we were in the middle of the road. I thought it would be a good idea to smoke a cigarette while I waited for the ambulance or to die, whichever came first. After all, my lungs were okay. The woman pulled one out of my pocket, put it in my mouth, and lit it. I sucked in the smoke. The dope man was dead. I did not remember what he looked like. The man who hit us was drunk. He was worried about the trouble he was in. My motorcycle was wrecked. My wife was home, waiting for me to bring the dope. I remembered that I had been dope sick as I took another drag on the cigarette, and I realized that I wasn't in a hurry anymore. I took another drag. This was the best cigarette I ever smoked.